Hey, how are you? Welcome back to me in my living room. I've been working on a lot of bigger sewing projects recently that have been taking up a lot of time. I actually have another project that I kind of wanted to make a video about this week, but it's another gown project and it's just gonna take a bit of time. So I'm gonna give myself another couple weeks to finish up that one before I start talking about it. So today's just gonna be like a few different projects that I've been excited about that are a little smaller, a little bit more fun weekend hangout kind of feeling. It's a 3-day weekend, and so yesterday we got to kind of do some prep, some shopping, a little day out, like getting ready to work on these things. Main priority yesterday in going out was to go by the thrift store. We went to L Train Vintage in Bushwick, which is one of my favorite thrift stores in Brooklyn. I feel like in New York especially, there are so many thrift stores where everything is like just as much, if not more, than it would be buying it brand new. But L Train actually has a lot of good prices. Like I can go in with $20 and still be able to get 3 things, which feels like such a rarity. The store is also just so big and there's so much to look at that I did go in with a bit of a mission and I stuck to my list, which I'm very proud of. The first thing that I picked out is this like denim button-up shirt. It's kind of a shirt, kind of a dress. It's very long. My hope for this is I have like a few different references saved on my sewing Pinterest board right now for these kind of very summery denim dresses, and I want to make one of those, and I feel like this is just going to be a good starting point. It's a bit oversized around the waist, so I could do like a bit of gathering. I really like my overalls, but my issue with these is just that I have like some t-shirts that I really like the graphics on, and when I wear them with the overalls you can't see the graphic at all. So with this I want to make it a lower neckline where you can see like more of the shirt that I'm wearing is kind of my thought. The other 2 things that I picked out are these men's button-up, and I picked these ones out just for the fabric. They were both super cheap, I think like $5 each, and I feel like these are going to be good to use for quilting squares. I have a hard time sometimes finding these like nice checkered patterns. The fabric store that I go to has like a lot of gingham, but nothing that's like a really nice, I don't know, more traditional plaid like this. This one for sure, I'm cutting the whole thing up into quilting squares. This one I'm kind of debating if I'll use like, I might use part of it to make myself a top and then use what's left over for quilting squares. I think it would even be cool if I get to do like a bit of patchwork quilting design on the denim dress that I'm working on, because I have a lot of references saved right now of like a little quilt detail on an outfit, and I just think it's really cute. So we'll see if this ends up working well for that. If not, I'll find something else to put it on. So that's what I got at L Train. The other stop that we made for like shopping while we were out was going to Cleo's yarn shop in Bushwick, which I love. I talked a little bit about this yarn store in a video I made like a couple months ago. I've been going back to Cleo's a lot since I made that video. They just have like a really nice selection. The people there are really nice. These are the yarns that we got. This is the fanciest one that I picked out. This one is Madeline Taj Pashmina. So a little unnecessarily fancy for what I'm using it for, but I just love the colors. I keep picking out all these fall colors even though it's like summer. There's that one. I'm using that one for a project I've been doing for a little bit, but I'll talk about it more in the future. And then this one I'm super excited about. I got this one and it is a Yarnalia Skylark. I don't really know how to explain what it is that I like about this. It has the like the wool yarns where they're not really intertwined as visibly, but it has like a lot of strength to it still. Like I had another wool yarn that I bought recently that was really pretty, but when you pulled on it, like it felt like if I yanked too hard on it, it would rip. I picked this one up because I realized I needed more yarn for the 3 times the flower tank top that I mentioned in my last video. And so I got this to do the color work with, and also to add a bit of a border around just like the edges of the piece. I'm definitely going to be coming back and buying more of this because it was pretty affordable, especially for what it is. I think it was like $11 or $12 for, I think this is like 360 yards. I feel like that's gonna be what I come back to when I want to make like my first full sweater. And then last one was Trevor's pick, so this is the one that he got, and I'm gonna be careful because he has his double pointed needles in it right now. I can't really even read the label, but I'll this is what it is. All of these are already wound because I don't have a way to do it at home, but I did take a little video of what it looked like on the peg. But yeah, just picked this one out because the colors were really cool and Trevor's been wanting to finish another pair of socks. So that's his knitting thing that he's working on right now. It's a long weekend, so we're gonna have like today and tomorrow to work on a few things. For now, my focus is gonna be starting to work on my little thrift upcycle. I'm also gonna start cutting some squares if I have time for a quilt that Trevor's gonna start working on. The fabric for it is just really nice and it's like a bigger variety than we usually have. So I think like the finished one is gonna be so pretty. Like I feel like this is gonna be my favorite one that he's made when it's done. I'm gonna show you this. This is like his little sketch for what each of the squares is gonna look like. So tomorrow, knitting and crochet, later tonight, quilting, but for right now, I'm gonna start on my upcycle sewing project and see what I can get done with that. I really wanted to try to just like finish this today, maybe even be able to wear it out tomorrow. So I'm gonna get started on that, keep it simple. So, yep, thanks, bye. I just did a first cut on this and I don't want to overdo it, but I feel like I do want to cut down a little further. Like I'm thinking about going to this kind of top button here. I don't want to overcut into my fabric, but I feel like I do want it a little lower. I'm starting to run into the pocket, so I want to try to take this off. Sometimes in the past when I've removed pockets, it'll leave like a weird difference in coloration, but I feel like it's not really doing that here. So I think I'm gonna try to cut this pocket off, see how that looks, and then if it's okay, I'm just gonna go down to here. But I think I'm gonna still like finish up the neckline and then try to do like a cut this in half so that I can make it have like a bit of a waistline, like a tiny bit of a waistline. Yeah. So a little bit more cutting. So this is what the pocket looked like after I cut it off. You can see it a little bit, but I think it's gonna be fine. I'm just trying to make a decision about the fit of this right now. Kind of trying to decide if I want to have this be baggy fitting or if I should do an indent. I feel like the indent's gonna add a lot actually. I'm gonna try to cut up as high as I can on this and then bring in the sides so that way what's being met is gonna be smaller than the fabric I'm attaching to it, so that we'll have some slight ruffleage at the waistline. And I think that's the vibe. But I think I'm just gonna do a little cut here and I don't know, try to bring in the waist a little bit. mailbox or if they just, what would you call it? Crazy, and it sucks that we don't talk that much. Okay, hey, good morning. So made a lot of progress on my sewing stuff last night. The little upcycle dress that I've been working on is looking really nice. The only thing that I went back over and did this morning was just adjusting the hole around the arm here. It was just like kind of folding out in a weird way, and I wanted the strap a little bit thinner. So that's the change that I made there. Only other main thing that I need to do still is the hem around the very bottom, which the length for it originally was actually fine. It's just that because this was like originally a button up, it had like a bit of like a dip down around the back of it. And I just want it even all the way around. So, but after I'm done with that, I think I'm just gonna call it for this little upcycle piece. I still have my men's button ups with like those plaid pattern, and I do still want to use those for the like quilting stuff I was talking about. I just think that I'm not gonna end up using it for this dress because there's not really a good place to put it. A lot of the like references that I had like in my head, it has the quilting design like right here in the center, and I feel like that's what I want to do. So I feel like I'm going to try to make that quilt patch still, but I'll probably just end up putting it on something different. I'm thinking probably my denim like little overall dress that I have, but that's what I'm going to work on next. The squares for that are going to be really teeny tiny, so we'll see how it is trying to sew and cut all of those together symmetrically. Trevor made a lot of progress on his little quilt square last night. Last night was like a lot of just cutting the triangles, piecing those together, and now they just need to be like sewn together in their little rows, and that shouldn't take too long, I think. So I'm hoping we're still going to be able to finish all of that in time to like go out and do some crochet today, hang out at the park. The weather's like a little bit gloomy, not the best for like a park hangout day, but we'll see. But that's the plan for today. I'm going to get back into it. Hi, Bimo. looks so great.
So tiny.
Very tiny. There you go.
Where I started. And I start with pearl, and I go pearl, neck, pearl, neck, pearl, tells me which one I'm on.
One neck. Oh, my God.
Very kind on their bite. Whoa.
Oh my gosh. We got a lot done this weekend, which was nice. It was definitely nice to do some more laid back sewing projects with my little thrift flips, and I was really excited to see Trevor start working on this new quilt that I can't wait to have in our living room when it's done. I feel like I might end up doing some more kind of like thrift flip vibe sewing projects, because I feel like I enjoyed thrifting a lot more going this time with like the idea in mind that I was looking for something to make new, a more approachable sewing project, and then also a more intentional shopping trip. And both of those things I just felt like it was a lot of fun to do. I guess I kind of have two flips that I did. And the first one I'm wearing right now was this little denim dress that I made. I've been kind of needing something like this for a while. As you can see, definitely shows more of the graphic than my overalls do. So it's like a similar feeling, but just like, I don't know, serves a different purpose in my closet. I was thinking specifically about this t-shirt and then also about my new dinosaur t-shirt that I got and my dinosaur t-shirt from the research center in Colorado. Those are like t-shirts that I want people to see, but I wear overalls so much that they're usually covered when I put them on. So I feel like this will be nice to go with all of those. I actually just got my new serger and I feel like this could have been a nice time to practice with that. But I feel like learning to use it is going to have to be its own whole day and process. And I just wanted to get through this and kind of do something a bit more relaxing. So when I do finally get out the serger and learn to use it, I'll probably talk about that a little bit more. Also, if you have suggestions for like good places to learn more about getting into using a serger, always appreciate it. I just did like a regular rolled hem at the very bottom of the dress to even out the hem in the front and the back. So I did that, of course, brought down the neckline a lot, got rid of the collar and the sleeves for it. I ended up using the fabric that I had from the sleeves to make this like interior lining on the very top. Sewed them together wrong side out and then flipped the whole thing in, ironed it. And so the seam along the neckline is really nice and clean. One thing that I wish I had done differently in hindsight was just with the buttons that go down the center. I cut across like the middle section here. I wish that instead of cutting all the way through, like cutting the whole shirt into a top and bottom portion, that I would have removed the button strip first. So that way I could just reattach it all as one piece once I was done sewing the dress together. And I feel like it would have looked a lot nicer if I would have just left that whole strip of buttons like as one piece of fabric. But that's what I did on this denim dress that I made. And then of course I have my men's button ups that I got with the plaid pattern on them. Yeah, I really love this one. This was my pair of overalls that I wear all the time. You see them probably in every single video that I post on here. Now that I have this dress, which I feel like can be kind of like a staple everyday like denim piece, I felt like comfortable making this a little bit more of like a statement thing that might not match with everything, you know? And originally I know I had talked about like making the patchwork or quilt design go with this new dress that I was making, but I just felt like I really wanted it to be in the center. And this overall dress just has like the perfect little pocket to add this detail on, and I just felt like it would go better. And I was right. This is like the cutest thing maybe that I own at all. Yeah, I'm so happy with this one. I already got compliments on it when I wore it out the other day. This is definitely not a beginner friendly project. This was very kind of frustrating to work on. Just the squares are so tiny, so I was like sewing together these squares that were literally like the size of my thumb. Using the paper like underneath to guide it so that they wouldn't get like sucked down into the machine was a good call, but even so it was just very tedious, difficult. There's a lot of like need for symmetry, so if things get messed up, it messes up the whole piece. Also because the fabric is so thin and so small, you can't really seam rip on anything or it just starts fraying. So this was a lot to do, and I ended up relying on Trevor quite a bit towards the end of this. He helped me finish up sewing all of the squares together and then also did this lovely quilting on it, so it's actually textured and quilted, which is really cool. The whole thing is really nice and finished, and then I just did hand sewing to attach the patch to the pocket. And I love this, and I'm gonna wear this all the time. Speaking of quilting though, Trevor finished his first square for our living room quilt, and I just love this design so much. I think he is so talented, and I can't wait to see what this is gonna look like when it's done. Probably gonna be at least a couple months, but it's nice to see this just starting to come together. I love all the special fabric that we picked out for it, and I feel like it's just gonna suit our living room really well, and I'm going to treasure it. I wish we could make maybe an extra one of these if we have enough fabric, because I'd love to just frame this and have it on the wall. Like, it's just so beautiful. But yeah, that's kind of my eclectic weekend of crafting that I've been doing. Like I said, I just wanted to give myself some smaller, more digestible projects to do a bit of a reset, try to enjoy myself. I gave myself 2 tattoos this weekend, and I told myself I was gonna film it, but it just, tattooing is already so much for me to do. And setting up the camera, moving things, changing my gloves every time, like I was just not feeling it. But I will show you, the tattoos. I did them like 4 days ago, so I'm gonna take off my second bandage now and put some tattoo salve on it. This is a very different style than I usually do. These are very minimal, thin lines, which is not generally my thing. But I just had a couple drawings I did that were like really speaking to me, so I wanted to do them. Yeah, but that's everything. I have some bigger projects coming up in the next couple of months that I'm excited to share and to work on. But thank you so much as always for hanging out. If you made it this far, please do leave a like, leave a comment, let me know you're here. If you want to connect with me on any of my other creative social stuff, I do Tumblr, Pinterest. I'll link that down below. Thank you as always for caring about the things that I make, and I will see you soon. Bye.